so that you guys can view this. I'm going to start out with the most simple text, and that is just going to the text tool in Medibang, clicking where you want the text to show up on a new layer. I'm going to type out the word I want in all caps, Alaska. I want it to be really big. I want it to take up most of this area, just like it does in the real poster. So I'm going to pick, there it is. Wow, that's maybe a little too big. Let's try 96. I want to try to match this font as best I can. The default is to use cloud text, and you'll see that in the cloud that Medibang provides, there's a lot of great fonts, but there's nothing that even comes close to looking like this. However, if you click off the use cloud text and go to their standard, there are some in here that do have a similar look. I found just messing around that the Malgan Gothic was close, and hopefully they're in alphabetical order here. And there it is right there, Malgan Gothic. And you can see that has a similar look. It's not quite the same, but it is close. I can make this bigger now that I'm using that font. And the text color, I'm going to click on that color, and I'm going to choose, I'm going to go to pick screen color. So I'm going to click on this option, pick screen color, and I'm going to click the red that we used for this poster, which is that one, and hit OK. So that is the color right from the poster specifically. I'm not sure if I can make this bigger. I think I want it a little bit bigger, maybe 150. Okay. And the next thing I can do is bring these letters closer together. So under text spacing, I can do a little subtracting here and make that a little tighter. There it is. And boy, I wonder, can I make this bigger? I'm going to try 200 there and see if that works. I don't know if it will go any larger than they offer. I guess not. I guess the maximum is this 128. And the last thing you can do that might make this a little more accurate is to click on edge color and give it some edge. So same color, same exact color we used. So make the edge color the same red and then give it some size there. And you'll see that it's thickening up the, I guess that pick edge color didn't take. Give it the size first and then add the color. There you go. You can make that a little thicker. And then hit OK. And now I can move it into place. And that's close. It's not perfect, but it's close to what they had. What they have is a little stretched out. You do not have the ability to stretch this text out like you would in Illustrator or Photoshop as it stands right now. You actually have to convert it to a JPEG file to do that. That is very easy, and I can show you how to do that in just a second. And let's do that. You go up to File, and you just simply click Rasterize right there, and you hit OK. And what it does is it creates a JPEG of the entire thing. So that's what we're looking at right now. So here's my original. If you look at the tabs up on top, there's the original Medibang file with all its layers. And now there is a there's a single layer. It's just a picture of this whole thing, basically. And you can just choose the portion of it that you want to utilize. And if I click the square selection tool, the rectangular selection tool. I can pick out the text there, and then just crop that out. Go to Edit and Crop. Yes, and then now I just have that, and I can drop that back into my original picture by simply copying it. Just go Control-C or Edit, Copy, and then go back to the original, and on a new layer, place it. So just Control-V or Edit, Paste, and there it is. And now I have the exact same thing I had, except it's no longer text. It's just a picture. So I can type Control-T and stretch it out. I can do anything I want with it. I can transform it in any way. I could stretch it out this way. Any way you want. So you can make it bigger overall, of course, but you can also stretch it out to give it that look that it has up here. And then hit OK when you're happy and move it into place. So that's probably a little closer to the original. All right, so that is one way to do text in Medibang. It's not as good as it could be. And the real problem for this poster is that there's no text that looks anything like the Via Canadian Pacific. That second line right there, there's nothing like that in the font selection for Medibang. So how would you do this if you were, pro? If you were saying, like, I really want to duplicate this poster, recreate that as best as possible. The way to do it would be to go to the internet, which is where I'm going to take you right now. And you would go to a website called dafont.com. This is a free website, and it is just the most amazing collection of fonts in the world. Thousands of fonts that people upload for free. You can do a search, and we'll do this right now. We're going to click in the search bar here, and we're going to type Deco, D-E-C-O. And I'm using that phrase because this is an Art Deco poster, and most fonts that would be Art Deco in nature are going to have the word Deco in their title. So you can see here they are, O Deco, Deco Tech. What else have we got here? Echo Deco, Deco Caps, Art Deco, Deco Pimp, Mouse Deco. Mouse Deco is the exact font that was used to make the Alaska name. And this one here, Thick Deco, was the one that was used to make the line beneath it. So those are the two fonts we need. There are some great ones. And I'm pointing these out to you because when you do your own Art Deco travel poster, you ought to do what I'm doing right now, do a search with Deco and pick out some cool Deco fonts. This Punky Deco is amazing. That would be a pretty cool one to have in there. This is amazing. This Roman Deco, just fabulous font. I would like to see that in some of your posters. And you can see there are 76 different fonts with the word Deco in them. So lots of good selection. All right, how do you get this font into Medibang? Well, first let me tell you, you cannot put it in Medibang directly. You can put it into Word directly, which is what I'm going to do, and then convert that to Medibang. So here's how that's done. First of all, you click Download, Save File, and I'm going to do this one too, Thick Deco, Download, and Save File. And then you're going to go to your Download Manager and pull them both off onto your desktop. Open up two files, click on the name inside of it, and then say install. It's that simple. It's that simple. And if you have any trouble with it, please don't hesitate to ask for help. So I have now installed both of them, and they will show up when I go to Word, which is what I'm going to do now. So I have an open blank Word document, and hopefully this works. I'm going to click on the different fonts, and I'm just going to type right into it, the one I want. I'm going to type Thick Deco, T-H-I, and there it is, popped up immediately. Just lightning fast. And so Thick Deco was used to say the words via Canadian Pacific. So I'm going to type that out, via Canadian Pacific. And the line above that, I guess I should have done that in reverse order, is in Mouse Deco. So I'm going to type in Mouse Deco now, M-O-U, there it is, was the word Alaska. Okay, so those are the guys I want. I want them to be as large as possible. So I want it to fill up this page. So instead of it being 11, I'm going to type the 200 and see what happens here. Whoa, that was too big. So how about 150? Select that again and type 150. Still a little big. How about 100? Select the word you want, type the size you want. There we go. So that's looking pretty good. I bet we could go bigger with that. All right, so I'm working on Alaska here. You can see there's a lot of space between the letters though. That's easy to fix. So selecting the word Alaska, and I am going to go with that 150. I know it's stretched out right now, but watch what happens. Selecting the word Alaska, and then going on the font menu, if you click open that little arrow here, that little drop-down arrow box on font in Word, and you can grab the advanced tab, you can adjust the spacing between them just like we did in Medibang. So it's a little harder to get to here, but you can adjust that. So scale is I believe what we're after here. And so I've clicked condensed, and I'm increasing it, and you can see this little preview down below here as they come together. So I've clicked spacing condensed, and I'm increasing the points that it's condensing by so the letters come together and almost touch down here. And I'm pretty darn close to it, right? Almost now they're touching, which is kind of the look we were after. And now I'm going to hit OK, and there you go. So that's what I was after. So again, I selected the font. I made the size 150. I went into the Advanced tab right down here, clicked that guy, chose the Advanced tab. On spacing, I clicked Condensed, and then I changed that by 30 points and hit OK. And that got me to where I'm at, which is really close to what I want to be. I think that's That's really good. You could squish it a little, and that might make it perfect. If we go to this tab here and under scale, check this out. If you squish it, that's the other way. So if you make it larger, watch what this does. I'm gonna hit OK. It doesn't fit anymore, but you can see it smashed it down. So maybe instead of 150, maybe 125. Let's see what that does, and hit OK. And increase these points. Look, it stretched, it made the space a little bigger. So I'm going to bump up that condensed a little more to bring them together a little more. Maybe closer to 40 points now. So with the scale at 125 and the condensed scale around 40, yeah, that's looking pretty good. The it's freaking out because of the margins here, but we can fix that pretty easily. Under the margins, where is that? It's under layout. Gosh, you know, I'm not the what? Anyway, if you get rid of the margins, where that's done, that's in layout somewhere. Your margins, there it is. Get rid of these. Maybe that. Maybe nothing. Boy, those are still giving me problems here. How about left and right? We'll just say no margins. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, so that was a tight fit. I had to get rid of the margins to get that in there. So maybe 150 is a little big. If you had this at the overall size at maybe a little less than that, it would work. Okay, but anyway, that's looking pretty good. And now for the Via Canadian Pacific. So you could do these separately, or you could put this right underneath and attempt to get that spaced out correctly. Let's see if I can do that. So I'm not, 72 is going to be too big. 48's a little small. Let's type in there 60. See what that gets us. Pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. So instead of it being 60, I'm going to type maybe 55. Boy, that 60 was almost right on. How about 59? That is like perfect. So I want these guys to be centered. So I'm going to go to justification and choose centered. And I don't know that that worked. I don't feel like it did. There we go. And I want to get them closer together. So this could be an issue. Let's see how that works out. So I'm going to go back to my spacing here, and it's not character spacing, it's line spacing. And honestly, I don't know how easy that is to change. I know it is changeable. I know it's changeable. So that went the opposite way. So I'm going to go to my, let's just say lowered. There we go. So when I click on this guy and I say position lowered, and I increase this value, let's see what that does. Interesting. So I'm just going to select the 1 and go to my position, say lowered. Maybe I need to say raised. Maybe that's the deal. Sorry. There it is. So raised is what does the click. So I'm clicking the bottom one. I'm going to the Font Advanced tab, choosing raised, and I'm increasing the value here to try to get it closer to the Alaska. Interesting. I don't know that that's going to happen much more. Let's go to the Alaska and see if we can drop that one down. So I'm going to that one and I'm saying position lowered, and I'm going to increase that value. That seems to be about as close as I can get them together, which isn't good. It's definitely not what's necessary for this poster. Not a problem. We'll just leave it at that. Maybe I was hoping it was easier to mess with. But anyway, that's easy to change in Medibang. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to save this as a JPEG file. But the first thing you have to do is change it as a PDF, because Word does not have the ability to save directly as a JPEG. You can save it as Adobe PDF, which would be good, or you can click export and say create a PDF there. Either way, create Adobe PDF if you happen to have Adobe, or just create like a generic PDF. Either way, that's what you want to do, create PDF. And save this somewhere. I'm going to save it to my, my desktop. I'm going to call it Alaska PDF and hit publish. And there it is. And now you open it up as a PDF, as I've done, and you would go File, and you would say Export or Create. And what you want to do is save it from here as a JPEG file. So I believe there are a number of ways to do this. Let me share my, I'm going to click New Share here and share the PDF screen that I have. Let me find that. There it is. So hopefully you guys are seeing my PDF screen now. I have what we created in Word. I saved that as a PDF. I have it open in the PDF reader that you ought to have on your tablets as well. And in this state right here, you should have the ability to export this thing as a JPEG. So let's do that. I'm going to go to File, and I think you might just be able to do it as Save As. I'm curious if that's possible. I guess not, but export to image, JPEG. That's what you're after right there. Medibang can also open up PNGs, I believe, so either one, but I'm going to go with JPEG. So you can see what you're doing there. You click the File button, export to image, JPEG, and you would hit OK, and hopefully that works for you. It's funny, I'm at home and my product on my computer is not currently licensed. So it's just telling me that I'm not allowed to do that, which really sucks. I didn't know that because at school it does allow me to do that. And I don't know if you're going to find that you can or can't do that. But anyway, if once you get that saved as a JPEG file, you could then open that up in Medibang, and you would be able to edit that. So I know that's kind of a lot of work there, but that is definitely a great way to do that. And I don't know, hopefully that works for you. Let me take us back to Medibang. So we're back over here. Once you opened that file up, it would be just like the any other file that that we had. You could just drop that in and recolor it, whatever. So that would work out really good for you. I've wrote down the names here for you: Mouse Deco and Thick Deco, and this one right here is the Mouse Deco that I wrote out the word Alaska here. You can see that's what it looks like when you bring it in from as a JPEG file. There it is. And you could then delete the background as I have and recolor the word by just going to the paint can and picking that red color and clicking on each letter. Make sure you have the tolerance high, clicking on each letter, and oops, have it on layer, of course. There you go. So that is that's what you would do. And you can see that definitely looks better than the one. So that one right there is the one that I made in Word. And you can see this one next to it is the one, below it is the one that I made in using the Medibang font. And you can see that this one is certainly more like the original poster. All right, guys, well, that is the deal with the text and fonts. Give dafont.com a chance. Definitely want to use it for your next poster. All right.